Welcome, Kleschka Crew, to Kleschka Picks week number 2. NFL week 1 had tons of excitement, tons of upsetting plays. Let's get right into this one. Starting with the Thursday game, we got the Bengals taking on the Browns, the teams of Ohio. The Browns were absolutely destroyed by Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Are we surprised? You got the MVP starting this new trend of quarterback with Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. They're going to be dominant for years to come. I'm not surprised by that at all. Then you got the Bengals, and my goodness, that game was hard to watch in the end. We had Joe Burrow leading the 2-minute drill all the way down, and he got the touchdown to win the game, except AJ Green had a pass interference. He pushed off. That got called back, so they decided to go for the game-tying field goal, and Randy Bullock shanked that so bad they lost. Everybody was stunned. This week, however, I don't think the Bengals fans will feel that same upset feeling. I think you're going to feel a little better. Joe Burrow looked good in week 1. He's playing another team that he can look good against in the Browns, and I don't think you'll be seeing any shocking kicks that go way right or anything like that. I think he'll have a good offensive day with his weapons. He really was connecting well with AJ Green and Tyler Boyd. So give the Bengals the win right here, 24-17. Next, we have the Rams and the Eagles. The Rams were able to get a win over the Cowboys behind Malcolm Brown, and Jared Goff was also having a solid day. Can't say the same for the Eagles. They took an L to the football team. That's right, the Washington football team. They were able to beat them. And this week, so I think the Rams are going to beat the Eagles. I think they're going to continue to play their game through Malcolm Brown. And they got a solid receiver core. Like I said, I really like Cooper Kupp. They were using Robert Woods. And I think they are going to be better than the Eagles. I just don't see the Eagles having it together yet. The Rams shocked me and impressed me last week. I thought they would be worse. But they were able to beat the Cowboys, who got big weapons like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott. So I think the Rams take the victory here and win 23-16. Broncos and Steelers. The Broncos lost a heartbreaker to the Titans. We'll talk about that more when we get to their game. And we got the Steelers, who beat the Giants. Ben Roethlisberger is finally back playing quarterback in Pittsburgh after his elbow injury last season, and he looked pretty good. Juju Smith also looked really good, getting his dances in, of course, leading the receiver core in that team and making sure he gets those TikTok references in there whenever he can. They did a great job, and I think we are going to see them succeed once again. I think Big Ben will find it a little bit harder here against the Broncos, but I still think he will pull off the victory with the Steelers, 27-17. 49ers and Jets. The 49ers surprisingly lost to the Cardinals last week. That was an upset for sure. Last year's Super Bowl losers, but still, that makes you a good team. You made it to the Super Bowl, and they were taken down by the Cardinals. I was very shocked. We're going to talk about how good they were when we get to their game. And the Jets, they lost to Buffalo. Le'Veon Bell is on the IR now for at least 3 weeks, so that hurts. That's their best offensive player. And this week, I think the 49ers are going to absolutely open the floodgates. They're going to go off. I don't know which aspect, running, passing, but it's just going to be a good day. The defense, I'm sure, is going to strive as well against an offense that is without their best offensive player. So even though the 49ers are short a George Kittle because he got this weird knee injury, I don't know. He could be playing. He might not be. He could be. I haven't heard the news, but right now I'm hearing he's leaning towards not playing. But this is going to be a great game for the 49ers. I think they will win 30-7. Bills and Dolphins. The Bills beat the Jets last week, and they really wanted to test Josh Allen and his passing. They gave him tons of attempts, and he did pretty solid at it. Then you have the Dolphins, who lost to the Patriots. Their offense was not solid. Cam Newton had a good debut against them. He was back to using his legs. That was nice to see, although I don't want to see it on the Patriots. It's so weird to see him like that. But for this game, I think the struggles are going to continue for Miami. I think Buffalo is going to continue to look solid on both ends of the ball, their defense and their offense. Get Stephon Diggs involved more, maybe get him a touchdown this week. I'm sure that is Josh Allen's number one target. He's looking at him all the time thinking, man, I can throw deep to this guy. I got him on my team now, and I think we'll see that this week, and I think the Bills will win 24-10. Packers and Lions. The Packers scored a ton of points against against the Vikings last week in a shootout. They had a combined 77 points. That is so much. And the Lions could say quite the opposite. They ended up being disappointed as they tried to get a touchdown to take the lead late against the Bears, and DeAndre Swift dropped it. He dropped the game-winning touchdown, and the Lions, they took, that letter that starts at the beginning of their name, they took the L. So that hurt. I have seen so many reactions on Twitter to that drop, and oh my goodness, bro, you better hope that people are not coming after you, because I saw so many angry Lions fans. But this week, I think the Packers are going to continue to dominate. You got an elite quarterback. Well, maybe not as elite as he used to be, but Aaron Rodgers is still up there in quarterbacks. He's got Devontae Adams. Valdez-Scantling stepped up last week too, and I think they're going to continue to wreck. They also can run the ball if they want with Aaron Jones. So give the win to the Packers, 31-20. Vikings and Colts. Like I said, the Vikings played those Packers, and it ended up being a high-scoring shootout. And then you got the Colts, who surprisingly lost to the Jaguars. That shocked me. This week, between the Vikings and Colts, I think the Vikings are going to continue to score. Dalvin Cook is going to be a huge piece of this offense. They're going to use him. They're going to rush for touchdowns. Kirk Cousins is going to be solid, allowing him to work that run game. And I think they are going to get the victory over the Colts, 27-20. Bears and Giants. The Bears barely escaped with a win. Like I said, the Lions dropped the game-winning touchdown, which allowed the Bears to get the victory. And the Giants struggled on offense last week. I think this week, you don't know who you're going to get with Mitch Trubisky, but after a week 1 victory, I think he's feeling confident, and I think they're going to play just good enough to be able to beat the Giants. I think the defense will be able to shut down their offense, and they're going to be able to do great, and Mitch Trubisky will succeed 2 weeks in a row. I know, surprising, right? So give the victory to the Bears, 24-17. Falcons and Cowboys. The Falcons lost to my Seahawks, but I don't think they really played that bad offensively. Matt Ryan had tons of yards, and the defense was really what let him down. Russell Wilson lit up their defense. He went off. Like I said, can we get him an MVP this year? I hope. Please. And the Cowboys, they were so close to getting a victory too. They got a pass interference call at the end of their game, just like AJ Green, and that basically led them to a loss. They had that pass, and that was taken back, and then they couldn't fight from there. This week, I think the Falcons are going to stay hot with their offense. I think they're going to have enough. And I think the Cowboys are not going to be able to keep up with them offensively this week. I think the defense gets better for the Falcons this time. And I think they will play great with Julio, Calvin Ridley, Gage. All those receivers were making the catches, getting the yards for Matt Ryan, and beat the Cowboys 29-23. Buccaneers and Panthers. Like I told you guys, I am not getting on that Tampa Bay hype train yet. Tom Brady could have played better. He did all right. He had 2 picks, which obviously you don't want from a quarterback in any game, but he was going up against Drew Brees and a team that he's had chemistry with for so long. That's exactly why I thought they were going to play better, because of how well they've known each other and played together. Tom Brady, this team was just created, okay? You got to remember that. Give them time to work together, learn their playbook, and then I think they will succeed. But for now, they're still, they've still got their wheels on. They're going to eventually get them off, but I think this is actually going to be a close game. The Panthers scored high last week against the Raiders, and I told you that game would be a game of running backs, and it really was. Christian McCaffrey went off. Josh Jacobs had a great game. This week, however, I think Tom Brady will have enough with his team around him to beat the Panthers with Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. I think it'll be close, but I think Tom Brady and the Buccaneers beat the Panthers 31-27. Titans and Jaguars. Like I said before, the Jaguars got an upset victory over the Colts. And if we're talking about the Titans, their offense definitely could have been better. Derrick Henry worked his way to a 100-yard plus game. He had 31 carries. That is so many, and I love it because he's on my fantasy team, and that got me the victory, baby! And this A.J. Brown missed touchdown would have lost me the game, so thank you for overthrowing that, Ryan Tannehill. Anyways, Gostkowski was absolutely horrible in the game for the Titans, except when it counted. He kicked the game-winning field goal, and that's the only one they needed to win. They got very lucky, if I'm being honest. And this week, they're going up against the Jaguars, who Derrick Henry is historically known for dominating, having great runs against, great games in general. So watch out. Derrick Henry probably going to go off this week. based on his past with the Jaguars. And that is why I think their offense is going to get back. I think we're going to see a huge game offensively for Derek and probably the rest of the team as well. A.J. Brown, Davis, Smith, Tannehill, give them all big games. I think it's going to happen. Let's say Titans 30, Jaguars 24. The Washington football team and the Arizona Cardinals. The Washington football team took a win against the Eagles last week. Very impressive. Shocked me. Then you got the Cardinals with another shocker, beating the 49ers. Kyler Murray looked great, and DeAndre Hopkins got a career high catch. It was 14 catches in one game for DeAndre Hopkins, a career high. That, oh my God, that duo together can be deadly. I'm sure we haven't even seen how deadly it's going to be yet. This week, I think they continue to do great against the Washington football team. If they were able to do good against the 49ers, I think they're going to be insane against the football team. So I got the Cardinals beating them 27-17. Chargers and Chiefs. The Chargers barely snuck away with a victory against the Bengals. Like I said, Randy Bullock shanked that field goal. Would have taken the game to overtime. Allowed the Chargers to end the game there and get the victory. Then you got the Chiefs, who beat the Texans in the very first game of the season. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. We're talking about the Super Bowl champs here. Patrick Mahomes, Mr. $500 million. So beating him is going to be tough. Beating that team is going to be tough. He is one of the best quarterbacks, could be argued to be the best quarterback in football right now between him and Lamar Jackson. That offense is stacked. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who had a great game for his debut. And Tyreek Hill is the cheetah. He's fast. He gets downfield. Sammy Watkins had himself a nice game. And this week, I think the Chiefs are just going to explode on offense. Again, it's what they do. They have the weapons. They got the quarterback. They got the defense to keep the other team down enough for the offense to just shine. So give the Chiefs the victory, 31-20. Ravens and Texans. Deshaun Watson, man, I feel bad for you. You had to play Patrick Mahomes in week 1, and now you're playing the MVP Lamar Jackson in week 2. At least after this, it's probably going to get easier from here on out. But I think this is actually going to be a closer game than people think. The Ravens, like I said, with Lamar Jackson, you are pretty much guaranteed to have a great game, at least an okay game every single time out. Deshaun Watson is no scrub. He has proved that he can be a great quarterback, but he just, he's not as good as the elite like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. So he's right under them. That's what I say. I think he's right underneath. And I think they're going to go back and forth. I think we have ourselves a shootout in this one. They both got the pieces on offense, but I think it's going to come down to a game-winning field goal from one of the best kickers in football, Justin Tucker. Give me score, Ravens 27, Texans 24. Seahawks and Patriots. My Seahawks absolutely exploded on offense against the Falcons last week, and the Patriots, they got a victory over their division rival Dolphins. Cam Newton had those rushing touchdowns. We mentioned that earlier. Good to see him using his legs to get those TDs again. And this is a matchup that haunts me every time I see it. You all know why. I don't even have to say it. I don't even want to mention it, but you know why, and it hurts, okay? But in the regular season, we seem to do pretty well against the Patriots, and this is no longer Tom Brady's Patriots. I think with Cam Newton, obviously they are not the championship caliber team that we have seen in the past, but Cam Newton will give us some trouble. It's not like we haven't faced mobile quarterbacks in our past. A lot of them have been in our division, so we know how to play them. We have definitely, within all our matchups, have learned a lot, and I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Russell Wilson is going to continue to do well. DK Metcalf going to go off. I think the Seahawks beat the Patriots 24-20. Saints and Raiders. The Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. Tom Brady and his team don't have the same chemistry as Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. I told you, once they get their playbook down and they start playing more games together, I'm sure they'll look better. But the Saints, they got that down. They've played together for multiple seasons. Drew Brees is a legendary quarterback. He's probably going to go into the Hall of Fame, almost for sure. The Raiders, they beat the Panthers. They were led by Josh Jacobs. I told you that was going to be a great running back game against Christian McCaffrey, and Jacobs takes this one. If the Saints were able to hold Tom Brady and his Buccaneers to 23 points, I think this will be a walk in the park for them. I think they'll hold the Raiders down. I'm sure Josh Jacobs will not have as big as a game as he did against the Panthers. So give me the Saints and their chemistry against the Raiders. And I think the score will be Saints 33, Raiders 20. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching week 2 of Kleschka Picks. If you made it to the end of this video, tell me what moment from week 1 was most shocking to you. Like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your pets, your friends. Everybody know I got this, and I will see you next time.